Guess who's back?
Kepler.
Back again. It's not Kepler. Kepler never left. Kepler never left. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Mal's back.
I can leave.
Please don't. Please don't. Would appreciate if you didn't. That's a great question. The answer is no, but it's a great question. Did you bring Kringle? No.
No, we'll pick some up when we're there for Carly's wedding. And we'll drop it off in Muncie. And then take some back with us.
That was kind. We'll drop some off in yeah. There you go, Chaz.
Chaz, they had like 20 flavors. You will have to let me know which one you guys want.
I thought there were like 4.
Oh, there were like 20 at Woodman's. There were flavors I'd never seen before, and I wanted to try, but I kept myself in check and only got one.
What were some of the... Sorry, I'm just curious, because we've had apple, cinnamon, and raspberry.
This was Racine Kringle. This wasn't Uncle Mike's Bake Shop.
Uncle Mike, yeah, okay.
Racine Kringle is like the original. It's really flat, whereas like Uncle Mike's is kind of like bigger.
Okay.
So they had like a Boston cream one. I wanted that one, but then
that's your jam. How did you not get that?
My favorite is raspberry chamois cheese. They had a strawberry cream cheese and a plain cream cheese, but when we were there at Woodman's, they had a raspberry cream cheese, so that's what I got.
Okay.
So, and they had them in like little, so you could do like your own little sampler. And then they had like the sheet ones, because you've had the sheet ones that are like just a rectangle.
You're making me want to go to Wisconsin.
And then they have the toilet bowl ones, the rings. They had... Woodman's is crazy. I had to vlog it. And we had a Woodman's in Appleton growing up. And we never went because it was on the other side of town. But they have unique shopping carts that are like squished more. Like, think of a shopping cart, but like half. And then the front, like the part where like Publix puts ads there. No, not this way, but like top to bottom. They're shorter.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're not shorter, right?
Oh, no, they're up in the air still.
Because otherwise, that would be for children.
The legs are just longer.
I would not be able to shop at the Woodman's.
And then the fronts, like, opposite of where you stand, those fold down. So when you pull up to the checkout, you just fold that down for some reason and then put all your stuff there, and then you can fold it back up.
Huh. Okay. Sure. Interesting.
I didn't do a great job vlogging because it was really busy and I was awkward by myself and I felt weird. You have been doing it for many years.
Sure.
And guys, you know the fridge, like sometimes they have the coolers in grocery stores and they have like doors on them, like where like the cream cheese and like the milk is. Sometimes they're just open, but sometimes they have the doors. Mm-hmm. There were 30 doors of cheese. Like, I'm not exaggerating. There were like 30.
That's a lot of cheese.
And there was a ton of like sausages, like summer sausage and brats and stuff. And there was a ton of pickles. And they had like Polish desserts other than Kringle. It made me very homesick.
It made me homesick for your home.
And then I talked about this in Discord, but there was a soda I found at Woodman's.
Oh, yeah.
Called Jolly Good. And we had it as a kid growing up, and I was like, oh, Jolly Good, I remember this. I haven't thought about it in like 15 years. I didn't know it was a local soda. I thought it was like generic IGA store soda. Like the really cheap stuff that wasn't. But it's like a Wisconsin soda. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I told Mal, after she told me that, I was
had
like...
no idea.
I was like, well, when we're there, in November, because we'll be driving, I'm going to bring some of that back. That is relevant to my interests. So, yeah, we'll get some of that and bring it back.
Yeah. We'll go to Woodman's.
Anyway, let's read some alerts, and then Mal will tell you all more of her fun Wisconsin adventures. We got 44 months from Not a Masochist, 20 months from Kimikawa, 47 from Chrissy G, 41 from Spinatrap, Squid Baconator gifts a sub to Potato Boy, to all of the
potato family.
The potato family. 21 months from Casadezia, 3 months from Clara Cupcakes, 25 months from Justin the Light, 24 months from Roma 818. That's a 2. Congrats on 2. 350 bits from Radio Dread says, clowning around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Those are clown sounds. I didn't know if you knew that. You've been gone a while. You probably forgot what they sounded like. 500 bits from Penguin Frog says, I saw 3 pileated woodpeckers this morning working in a tree. I saw that video. I saw the video you posted in Discord, and I was like, that's a lot of wood, because they're full size. They weren't like tiny woodpeckers, because you'd assume that
I saw some of the big ones in Wisconsin.
You'd assume if it was 3, you'd be like, there's like maybe some adults and some baby. No, they're big. They're big woodpeckers. And seeing 3 at once, I think that's a good omen. I'm not sure. Also, imagine if there had been woodpeckers in Alba. Because then I would have had more dirty words to say. 13 months from Reniner. 17 months from the Leaf 473. 19 months from Depidius Badoof. 400 from Gamer Girl Life says, welcome back, Mal. I hope your family is doing well.
They are.
Yeah, you had a good time.
Yeah.
You had a good time. And you got the chance to see, I mean, obviously you spent time with Mark and Rhonda and your sister and some of your aunts. And then also your grandma.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Because you haven't been back in just about 3 years. And getting a chance to see your grandma, I'm sure, was really exciting.
It was really great.
Yeah. So.
I learned that Carly lurks on Breakfast Stream a lot. But she's like not in chat all the time, but she listens.
I can feel her presence. I mean, there's been times where we've been talking about like something that's like Carly adjacent, and Carly has shown up.
Yes.
So she kind of has like
Roland does that too.
And John. Where we'll just be kind of mentioning something, and all of a sudden, like someone says something, and I'm like, you're here. All 3 of them have that superpower. We got 300 bits from Depidius, who says, good morning, grandparents. I can now say I'm officially 2 decades old today and spent yesterday moving into my college dorm, so today will be spent unpacking by myself.
That's exciting.
Well, first off, happy birthday. And then also, have fun. College is fun. I enjoyed college a lot. And the unpacking part of college isn't super bad because it's not that much stuff.
Yeah.
Typically. I always thought like the unpacking part of college was somewhat therapeutic because like you have a small amount of stuff and you are in control of like where it's going. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're in control of that at home, but in college it's like a new space and you're like, this is going to go here. I don't know. I very much enjoy the organizational aspect of moving.
Yeah.
Freshman
year I brought too much, and then every year I started to bring less and less and less.
Oh, what did you bring that you were like, this is too much, I didn't need this? If you can remember.
Well, freshman year, I had a TV and a futon and a fridge and too many books and too many clothes and...
Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to get questions about the TV. So we didn't get the TV up because I picked up Mal Tuesday night and we were tired, or Mal was tired from traveling, and we didn't set up the TV. So I needed to set up the TV yesterday, but yesterday we had basically an entire day's worth of errands to do. Fun. So we didn't get a chance to do it, and now I'm like, well, crap, we should probably wait.
Yeah.
because I don't want the first... we're still on the old TV. I didn't want the first stream to be Pokemon, because I'm going to have to adjust some things. Because the TV, all the TVs that you use, they have inherent levels of lag, so you have to compensate for that in OBS. And I was like, I don't want the first stream to be OBS, or to be Pokemon. So at this point, I think we're going to actually set up the TV on Saturday. So... Even though I was excited that Thursday morning would be our first stream with the new one, we haven't done it yet. Yeah. Yesterday was wild. We were out a long time dealing with many things. Yeah. But we are is it now we are North Carolina residents?
Yes, we are. Our vehicle isn't, but we are.
Well, but we are. We got
the North Carolina DMV is wild.
It's just set up differently than South Carolina. It's set up the same as other states. In terms,
I've never heard of a state doing it this way.
In terms of it being split plates,
yes.
And there's other places that do that, I'm sure.
Plate DMVs, like for titles and registration for vehicles, are independently owned and operated. They are not operated by the state. So
that part's weird.
You have to go to different DMVs.
Yeah, that part's weird. But yeah, there are also...
And there's only like 4 plate DMVs in all of Raleigh.
Yeah. So,
And Durham, Raleigh, Durham, the whole
I'm sure there are other states that divide DMV and DMV plates. I don't think it's common, but I'm sure that there are other states that do it.
Necessaros says Minnesota has those. Jarwin says, I think Maryland is like that.
Yeah.
And we had a problem with our plate, which is why we don't have it yet. So I had to call the state and talk to them.
Yeah, it's we're getting there. Mm-hmm. We're getting there. As a reminder to all our international viewers, 50 little countries. 50 little countries. It's fun. It's very, very fun. We lived fairly close to the North Carolina border when we lived in South Carolina. And now that we're here, we didn't really go that far to get into North Carolina, but all the rules are different.
We also had to take...
51. Or 53? 50, I mean, if DC counts Guam... Puerto Rico, that's 53.
I think there's one more territory.
Might be another. Anyway, a lot. 50 plus little countries.
Yeah, the US Virgin Islands. Okay. We had to take a road sign test yesterday.
Let me get through the rest of the alerts, because I'm going to talk
about that.
I'm going to talk a while. 9 months from Fruit, Blood, and Bean Soup. 2 months from Legend of Kiara. 46 months from Cybe. 31 months from Item Crafting Live. Full Metal Grizz gifted 2 subs to M Joseph 15 and Team Riptide. Thank you, Grizz. We got 24 months from DJ Moore 15. That's a 2. Congrats on 2. 17 from Darth Mario 64. 42 from Waste and Aeon. We got 300 bits from Waste and Aeon that says, had a bad dream last night. Was looking for something in my home, and every time I entered a room, something changed. Switch games turned to PS4. Furniture changed colors with no recollection of why, etc. Really scared me awake. Ooh. It's kind of a neat dream.
Yeah. But I can see why it would be off-putting.
Yeah, I see the off-putting nature, but also I think of it in terms of like, well, that's a cool like video. That's a cool music video. You're walking through and like things in the room are changing. Probably a little horrifying when you're living it, but the idea of Switch games changing to PS4, that's really wild. Anyway, I hope there's less nightmares in your future. We got 10 months from Laneland. And 500 bits from Satsy says, finally, there is a
gynecologist.
Oh, I see. Gyna date. We'll be missing Breakfast Stream on 22 September as I convince doctors to finally take out the pain organ.
Yay.
That's good. That's very good. Well, I'm glad that you are... I mean, I'm glad that you're going to get relief, but then also convincing doctors is like completely separate from that, and I'm glad that that happened. So good vibes that goes well, and that's not that far away. Also, with how time moves, that will probably feel very quick from now, because I feel that time is passing so fast that it's like whenever you're driving in a car and you're going 80 miles an hour and you hold your head out the window and your face is doing this. That's how time feels to me. Time needs a speeding ticket is a good, yeah, that's agreed. Agreed. Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, I can't even imagine like having kids and then seeing the kid, because that's just another reminder of time. Because especially because children grow up really quick. So like you have like a child and the child is like tiny because they start tiny, or so I'm told. And then they get bigger and you're like, how'd you get bigger? When did this happen? Anyway. Also 47 months from Hi Ryu. Thank you. Pro tip, don't stick your head out the window while driving. It depends where you're at. It's fine.
See, I'm one of the older cousins in the family. And seeing all of my younger cousins like be out of college and seeing them for the first time like since they've graduated. Some of them have gotten married, and I was like, oh my gosh.
They're getting older. Also, apparently there was a new clown. Was that a clown from like... Okay. Yeah, Chaz and Vagabond teaming up to provide content
fresh clowns
faster than anywhere else on Twitch. I think this is probably one of the only channels on Twitch where I can make a funny noise and then it's just implemented as an alert minutes later. Yeah, shout out to that tag team. We also have 500 bits from Science Nerd who says, on the note of college and stuff, I learned that my university is going to be offering in-state tuition to all 50 states now, which is really cool. This is apparently a trend too, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Neat. Yeah, that's, again, that might be a weird thing for international folks to also understand. But yeah, typically how it works in the U.S. is that states offer in-state tuition to folks that are in that state. And if you're not in that state, you pay more money.
Sometimes they do reciprocity, though, with neighboring states. So,
sometimes.
And sometimes they stop that in the middle of your education.
Also...
That happened to Carly at the U of M, Minneapolis. And she was like, come on. And they were like, well, if you're already here, we'll grandfather you in.
The other thing is some folks might be wondering, if that's the case, does that mean that you could move to a state and have residency there and then get in-state tuition? Yes, and folks do it.
But you have to be there for a certain amount of time.
It depends on the school.
That's true, and the state.
It depends on the school and it depends on the state. Anyway... Education, like many things, is broken. But that's good. I mean, that's, what Science Nerd said. Like that's a positive change. That's a step in the right direction, at least. So anyway, let me tell you about this road sign test. Hold on, and
then we'll talk about Wisconsin.
Okay. This is fun. This will be on the vlog too, but you're here this morning, so you can have it early as a treat. So we went to the DMV, and when we got there a fair bit before they closed. At least I thought, because they closed at 5.
Yep.
And we got there somewhere between 3:30 and 4. And when we got there was a sudden discussion between the guy at the front desk and who I presume was like the head of that DMV. And they were like trying to decide if we were going to be able to be seen. And I was like, oh, thought we were good. And then they decided that we would be the last people helped
that day.
That they could provide information to anyone else that came in, but they couldn't
You can make appointments
Oh, okay.
and
Wow.
like have an appointment time. But
That's
they're-
never been a thing I've done
They're
before.
booked out
So.
months, like 6 months. So they're like, well, you can just show up, but get here at 6 a.m. because we don't see all that many people.
So anyway, I'm glad that we were able to walk in and get it taken care of. So when we come in, they asked us for all information. We were prepared. We had all of our information, and they said, okay. And as part of this, you'll also have a road sign test. And then me and Mal were at the counter together. They handed Mal a cheat sheet of all.
They were like, go over this while you wait.
They handed Mal a cheat sheet of all of these things so she could review them. Now, the guy didn't hand me a review sheet. And then as soon as Mal had the thing, I was assuming that we'd go down and sit down and look at the thing. As soon as Mal grabs the paper, they call her number. So she's gone. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go and I sit down in the waiting area.
Renee asked, do they have different road signs? No, they're the same nationally.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. And I've been driving a long time, so I'm like,
It'll be fine.
should be fine.
Yeah.
I know what road signs are. I know how they work. I think I have a pretty good handle on this. I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. They finally call my number. So I go and go up to the thing, and I give the lady my information. And she's asking me all the different questions, hair color, eye color, height, etc. And then
It took the guy a lot longer to do mine.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh. Anyway, then we get to the point where it's time to do the road sign test. And to do the road sign test, there's a little monitor that you have to put your head into. And the screen only illuminates when you've pushed your head into it, because there's a little bar that your forehead has to push before the screen illuminates. And this is on a counter for normal height people. So I'm bent way down, and I got my face in this thing. I'm to try and get the screen to illuminate. And it starts with a vision test, and I go through the vision test. And then it's time for the road signs. And she's like, just start at the top and start reading the road signs. Now, road signs are pretty easy because a lot of road signs just straight up say what they are. Whenever there's a road sign that says do not enter, I'm like, is this do not enter? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going through them. Hill, highway divided,
I got that one wrong.
handicap parking. Median is the same.
I said median.
It's the same thing. What's the other one?
No U-turn.
No U-turn. Stuff that's
Yeah.
really easy.
Yeah.
So I got through all of them. And then I think there was 12 or 16 that I had done. And then the final 4 were just shapes. They were just shapes and colors. So the first one was a red octagon. Pretty straightforward. And I was like, stop. And she said, And then the next one was a yellow circle. And I'm staring at this yellow circle, and I'm like, what the crap is the yellow circle? What is the yellow circle? I have no idea. I have no idea what the yellow circle is.
It did not have anything on it.
It didn't
was
have
a
anything
yellow
on it.
Circle.
It was just a yellow circle, and I'm thinking, my first thought was, are there multiple things that use a yellow circle sign? And the lady is like, she's like, it's an X with 2 R's on the side. And I'm like, so then I'm trying to visualize, I'm like, X with 2 R's on the side. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, well, 2 R's, it's probably railroad. And I'm like, it must be a railroad crossing sign. I said, railroad crossing. She says, yeah. Next one. Also blank. It's yellow and has 5 sides, a yellow pentagon. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, and I'm thinking, there's multiple signs that use this.
Yeah.
There's definitely multiple signs that use this. And she goes, think about what it could mean. 2 people walking across a street. And at that point, I'm like, does she think that I can see the illustrations? Because her verbiage is kind of inferring that what could the illustration mean? And I'm thinking, there is no illustration. Did mine not load? So I'm thinking, all right, 2 people walking across the street. I was like, that's got to be school crossing. So I'm like, school crossing. She goes, yeah. The final one. Yeah, I know load, but listen, that's all I could go on. So the final one is a yellow pennant. The yellow pennant...
It's a sideways isosceles triangle.
Sure. The yellow pennant, the only thing that the yellow pennant is
no passing.
Is no passing zone. That's the only sign. But because I had struggled with the previous 2, it comes up with a yellow pennant, and I'm looking at it, and before I can even say anything, the lady says, it's X's and lines. And I'm like, so now I'm staring at this, and I'm like, what the crap is X's and lines? She's like, yeah, lines and X's. You got the lines and the X's. So I'm staring at this pennant, and I'm like, what in God's name is... I'm trying to think through like every sign I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, what sign is lines and X's? And she just keeps saying it as if saying it louder will make me suddenly know what it is. She's like, lines and X's. Lines and X's. And I'm staring at this yellow pennant, and like any thought that I would have had before of this is no passing zone is gone. That's gone. I'm just staring at this, and I'm like, I have no idea what this could be. And
Brandon said the sign literally says do not pass on it. Like, that's the sign. Yeah. There's no lines or X's on it.
Yeah, it says all it says with words is just no passing zone. So if the woman thought that I could see the words at this point, she thinks I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm struggling because I'm like, I have no idea what this could be, and I'm just like, do not cross. And she goes, lines and X's. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and she goes, all right, you pass. And I'm like, okay. So she says I pass. And then she does the thing to finish up the license. She prints it off. And then she says, I'll get the real one in the mail. Right? There was a lot of anxiety over this. So after this, I meet up with Mal, who was at a separate booth. And I was like, how'd you do? She's like, fine. And I was like, I couldn't get the last 3. And Mal was like, what do you mean you couldn't get the last 3? On Mallory's screen, they all had the illustrations.
Well,
all of them.
You had to do 12, right?
And
I only had to do 6 or 8. I had to do 8.
No, there were more than 12. There were either 16 or 20 on mine.
Oh, I only had to do like 8.
Jesus Christ. So not only were all of them on Mal's, where she had all of
mine had the illustrations and the words.
All the illustrations, all the words. When Mal was starting to do them, the guy just told her, she's like, all right, you're good.
Yeah. I got through like 8, and he's like, you're good. And I was reading them or like explaining what you do when you see them, like, oh, this is no U-turn. And the U-turn is just like an arrow that points like an upside down U, and it's like, no.
So anyway, so that happened to me. And then I got Mal's cheat sheet because Mal still had it, and I was like,
I need to find out what lines and X's is.
What is this sign? So I hold up sheet, I'm looking at it. The only pennant on there is no passing zone. And I'm like, what does lines and X's mean?
So you looked online, we couldn't find anything that would be lines and X's.
So I'm at home Googling like yellow pennant US sign, and I'm looking at everything I can find. The only pennant sign in the US is no passing zone. What did lines and X's mean? Is this just how this lady gets her jollies? Like, what? Anyway, so that caused me a great deal of anxiety yesterday, because not only did I have anxiety during the test, because I'm like, oh God, what is this? Yeah, you have a jolly. Now, when I got home, I have anxiety because I'm like, well, now I need to figure out what it is. And then I find out there is no sign. I don't know. There's the sign. That's the sign.
That is the only yellow pennant sign in the U.S.
So imagine that. That was
Without
on
the
my...
words.
There was... mine was just the shape and the color. There was no words on it. And the hint was lines and X's. And I'm like, okay, cool. So anyway, yeah, it was fun. That was a fun time.
Well, you passed.
I did pass, but do you know how awkward it would have been if after I would have been like, I didn't pass. Like, what would you have said? Like, how? Oh.
That's a good point, Thomas.
Yeah, I probably should have asked. I think it was just after the fact that I was just kind of in shock of the whole ordeal. I was in shock just from the shape part.
You just wanted to get out of there.
I did just want to leave. I was very ready to leave. Anyway, I got it. So, yeah. Yeah, I did not want to have a conversation with that person.
The other thing...
I was very done with that person.
The other thing that I was like, oh, this is different, is they gave us a paper license. So they're going to mail us our real licenses. And last time I had a license printed, they put Georgie as my last name. Because in South Carolina, they just print them right there, and you walk out with your full license.
Good old Georgie.
Yeah.
That's our name. Yeah, the lady was thorough when she was getting my name and stuff, because she had my South Carolina license, and she was like really making sure of the spelling.
Did she have you check the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, the screen, yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, I've lived a life of spelling difficulties, so anytime I'm given the option to review something that someone has changed...
Did they keep your South Carolina one? Thomas asked if they kept your South Carolina one. The guy put it on my paperwork and slid it back.
No, I have mine.
Okay, and I was like, should I shred this? And he goes, you keep it as a souvenir.
I think I have mine.
And I was like,
I'm pretty sure I have mine. Thomas says South Carolina will take your other license.
They took my Wisconsin one and gave me Georgie.
Huh. I think I still have my South Carolina. No, I do. I do, because when she slid it back, she said... When she gave it back to me, she said, this one's null and void.
Yeah, they said it was deactivated in the system.
Yeah. So, no, I do still have it. So that's kind of fun. So this is the first... And, like... this is interesting, I guess. This is the first time I've ever had a different state license.
You never got a Georgia license.
Yeah, there was no need to.
Yeah.
You know? So I have been a South Carolina resident for literally my entire life. So this is the first time that I've ever not been a South Carolina resident. That being said, it's still Carolina. So there used to just be one state. Used to just be one thing. Is it null and void for driving, or can you use it as an ID? I mean, if you held it up, no one would know that it wasn't valid. But if they did anything to scan it...
I think if the police ran it, they'd be like,
Yeah, if the police scanned it, that would be bad.
But if you're showing it for, like, I don't know, alcohol, I don't think they would notice.
They don't scan anything for that. They just want to see the date, right?
Yeah.
Half the time, they don't even...
But we got the paper ones for North Carolina, so.
Yeah. Hopefully I won't have any run-ins with the police.
You have a paper one for this state.
No, I just mean in general. Like, I don't want to. As a general rule, I don't want to be I don't want to be police adjacent. I don't generally speed, so I should be good.
Yeah, I'm glad I grabbed our social security cards.
They needed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go into the DMV and you go to the person at the front and they ask what you're there for, and they go through all your information. He never asked for our social security cards, and I was like, okay, well, I have them. I had them in my purse. And then we get to the window and he's like, where's your social security card?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you had it. The one thing that gave me a scare is that they needed proof of insurance, and we're in the process of like swapping our insurance, right? Because it has to move from state to state. Again,
we
50
had
little
it swapped
countries.
before we went today.
Yes, but they were still processing it. Anyway, when I get to the car and I'm looking for the thing that is our proof of insurance, it's old. And I'm like, this expired in June. Oh crap, we didn't put it in the car. And I was like, well, maybe they'll be all right. So I brought in the whole thing because we always put the new ones in it.
We have a little holder.
So I brought it in and I gave it to the guy and I told him, I was like, we didn't put the new one in the car. So the guy's going through and he goes, oh, here it is. Mao was in charge of putting it in the car. We always put it in front.
I probably put it in back because the plastic has been taking the ink off. Because you saw how the plastic had all the ink from the other ones.
Mao had put it behind it. So there were several in there, and it was in the back. So
There
I
was
thought that
three in there.
Anyway, it was fine. It was fine. I just had a brief. No one wants to go to the DMV with all of their stuff and then
Be told you're the last people for
you're the
the
last
day.
people, and then be like, oh, where's your thing? And then go, So I'm glad that it worked out. Anyway, that was my day. And then the other thing is that I woke up yesterday with a terrible headache. Which that like never happens. So I had a terrible headache like the entire day. So I'm doing the stupid road sign test and my head's pounding and I'm like, oh my God.
Yellow pennant, X's and I's.
Lines and X's. So that set the mood for the entire day.
Yeah.
I didn't get any vlogs out yesterday, and it's because I was out for hours yesterday, and then whenever I finally got home, my head was still killing me, so I laid down for a bit. And then by the time I got up, we had dinner and went to bed. So yeah, it was a weird day. Today will be better, hopefully. I really hope so. All right. More things. 20 months from GFA Hard. 300 Bits from Sadsy says, also, I am making a pancake in the rice cooker. Hopefully it works and doesn't become a giant mess. You can do that.
Ours doesn't have that setting, but there are other ones that do.
Sadsy says the pancake worked. Wait, but the rice cooker
They make them, like, thick.
Does it just come out? Because the rice...
Kind of domed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's no setting, it just cooks. Yeah, I guess it'd be kind of... It'd be a very different...
The one Stephanie and Steve have
shape.
A cake setting.
Oh, but it doesn't come out...
We wanted one that did the other stuff.
It doesn't come out flat, it does a...
Yeah.
I'd be interested in trying that.
Fill your family's purses with Tiny Yeti's microscopic styrofoam grams.
Microplastics.
Microplastics. Also, if anyone would be big into microplastics, it would be Eddie. It would be Eddie. That's a bit from Slick Duke. Okay, Eddie, Steven had a stressful day yesterday. What treat can you provide to ease Steven's stress? Microscopic styrofoam grams. Fill your family's purses. You'll never get them all out. The purse is ruined. Yeah, it's a combination of microplastics, but also graham crackers.
There's always graham cracker crumbs around. In purses.
Is that common? I don't think... Do people often have graham cracker crumbs in their purse?
Yes.
Okay, I was unaware of that.
No, I'm holding you. We're snuggling.
He's like, things were okay. You want over here? You want over here? Oh no, you're still okay. He just didn't want that.
Can I get my legs curled up then?
Poor thing's like a liquid.
He's a cat. He's liquid.
He is liquid.
He's going to the vet soon.
I mean, kinda. Next
He
month.
gets to meet his new vet friend.
Yeah, we have to, establish, a new vet. So we got all of his old records from the old vet.
Oh, they're gonna call and get him.
Oh, really?
Get him
Even though we
faxed
have.
over,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, but yeah, we had to establish an appointment just to, have a vet, and we finally got that taken care of. So that'll be, I think, next month.
Yeah, it is.
He's been doing good though.
Oh yeah, he's been great. We just want to make sure he has a vet here, so if he does start having problems, that it's not like, well, you've never seen us before.
Yeah. Well, also, we are also going to need a vet to write him continued prescriptions for prednisone.
Yes.
If he's going to stay on prednisone.
Yes.
And, the new vet may have opinions about that, too.
When I talked to the lady at the vet
Mm-hmm.
to get him his appointment, she's like, all right, well, what's your pet's name? And I told her I spelt out Kepler. And she goes, oh, like Futurama. And then I'm thinking, and I'm like, what character is Kepler?
Is there a character named Kepler in Futurama?
No, because I asked Carly. Because, like, we both watched it. And I was like, and I'm struggling, and I trying to answer her in the moment. And I was like, yes. But when I got the confirmation email, they did spell it right. So it's not like she spelled it like Kif.
Yeah, Nibbler, Bender, these are names that sound... Yeah, there could be an obscure background character. Although, that's very odd that lady is like, yes, the cameo.
Kepler is an astronomer, Johannes Kepler, with interplanetary motion. So maybe she was, like, thinking space? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's definitely times in life where someone says something and I just go, yes. Because I'm thinking, sure, why not? No problem. Where was I? 300 bits from Cabry, who says, husband and I are still dealing with COVID, but I'm feeling much better. Could we please get some continued good vibes?
Yeah, good vibes.
Good vibes. I'm glad that you are feeling better, though. Hopefully, not so much tiredness. Oh yeah, Chaz. Yeah, that's right. Saying yes is the quickest way out of this conversation. So yes. Maybe that's it. Maybe that, like, subconsciously, it's. I want to. Because if you say anything other than yes, the conversation is just going to be extended no matter what, and you don't want that. It's too hard. 300 from Desitell says, my partner pulled a Mao yesterday. They wanted to look up how to pronounce a certain name, so they Googled names.
Did it work? Big.
Big.
Did you mean Tyrannosaurus Rex? Yeah. Desitell says, oh, lol, no.
Yeah, that... See, the thing about searching is that you do have to use the correct search terms. You can't just envision what you connect to it and then try. That's not how it works. We get 300 bits from Fizzy Boyo. It says, when I went to the DMV for my permit, they made me do the test with my glasses off. They were mystified when I failed it. Oh. That's... Yeah, that's on them. That's not on you. Take off your glasses.
Yeah, you can see.
You do know that this is how I see, right? Listen, if you can't magically see, I don't know how you're going to be able to drive. Anyway, yeah, I think there's just some DMV workers that are just having a good time. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like they don't got anything to lose. They're just having a lot of fun at our expense. 300 bits from Arpiga says, this reminds me that when I got my first license, it listed me as 6 feet. I am not 6 feet tall. I never gave them that height, and I still have no idea where they got it. It gave me problems for years. Oh.
He didn't ask my weight yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't ask my weight either. Is the weight...
Did he guess?
Oh, no.
I didn't look.
He's a carny. Yeah, I don't think that... Do they not put the weight on North Carolina licenses? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Vagabond says, why do they need their weight? Oh, weight is definitely on South Carolina license.
It was on Wisconsin, too.
Yeah. So that's another fun thing, state to state. In certain states...
Maybe he just guessed. Maybe there was a scale. On the
Definitely
floor.
wasn't. Definitely wasn't. No, weight wasn't on it because I remember when they did the little review thing.
I didn't.
That wasn't on there.
He looked at my hair and went, brown? And I looked down at my hair and I was like, yeah? Because I think of your hair as brown.
Yeah.
And mine is like, yeah.
Well, like it. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because whenever I think of your hair color, the first thing that pops in my head is like blonde.
And see,
But
that's mine,
it's-
but my hair was blonde when I was little. And it
Yeah.
was like super bleach blonde from the sun and being little. And
Yeah,
then it's
when
gotten darker.
When you were first in Myrtle Beach and
Mm-hmm.
we were spending a lot more time outside and in the sun, your hair is lighter
Yeah.
and it's much more closer to blonde, but it's not blonde.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely brown. And like my hair is brown also, but it's very dark brown. Anyway, when she asked me what my hair color was, I told her brown. It seems brown. And like my hair probably looks black compared to Mal's, but if you compare my hair color to someone who has actually like black hair, then mine looks a little more brown. It's a lot. Color is about relativity,
Yeah.
you know, and also the fact that colors look completely different if they're surrounded by specific colors. It's awful.
My nail polish changes color.
It does. Mal's very excited about her nail polish.
I have 2 different.
She did one hand in green blue and one hand in purple red.
This one is blue purple and it
Blue
moves. And there's a little bit of green sometimes. Like if you do this, you see there's a little bit of like yellowish. And then this one is teal with a greenish on it. A green topper. Yomadorgon says, show them to John. He's been doing his nails too. Yeah, his tweets about Holo Taco reminded me that I needed to buy some colors because I bought some back in April and I wanted more. I wanted these because this is it's a little greener than I need it, but this is what I want to wear on Carly's wedding because it matches the dress. So I might do the teal and use just like a regular Holo top coat instead of the celestial one.
Danny says nail talk greater than camera talk. I feel like most folks.
Thank you,
would
Spifflop.
probably
Purple
agree
with
you.
envy, and bring me the teal with a celestial light shimmer. That's what I'm wearing.
Those names have a lot of words in them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different words going on.
I bought Menchie the cat back in April, and Circuit Breaker, and like 3 others.
There's no. I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't know.
And those I wore. I've worn them since April, but these were the new colors, so I put them on yesterday.
Yeah,
Sparkling. Yeah, I think I bought sparkling water.
I'll throw out camera talk occasionally, but I'll try to keep it as. I will try to keep it less than nail talk. Try. Speaking of, I have a camera talk thing that is brief, that won't take but it will take less time. I finally updated the FX3 to the version 2.0 firmware, which was like a big change. And one of the things that I've noticed about the FX3 is ever since I got it, I've never been able to get remote control working, like where you can control the camera with the phone. It works for the Blackmagic. It's worked for the A6400. It's worked for other things. I could never get it to work on the FX3. And I was always like, weird. I haven't needed it, but it's been kind of a pain. I updated to firmware 2.0, and I was like, all right, so maybe now it'll work. Now, it crashes. And I have a suspicion that the Wi-Fi chip or whatever controls the Wi-Fi in the FX3 is broken. I think it's actually been broken since I got it, and I've never needed it, so I've never like pushed into like testing it really hardcore. But now, anytime the Wi-Fi if I attempt to use it and the Wi-Fi symbol comes up on the screen, the camera freezes completely and has to be shut off by pulling the battery out. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna continue to not use that feature. It kind of sucks, but you know, at this point, I've owned it for a while, and it's not like they're gonna fix it, you know, so I'm just like, I guess I won't use that. I guess that's something Like, could it be replaced or fixed or whatever? Like, I'm sure that they would fix it, but like, I'm sure they would charge me because it's been a long time. Yeah, I do have I do actually have a warranty on it, so I guess I could get it fixed for free.
Anyway,
Maybe I will.
Wisconsin
Maybe I'll look into
talk.
that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead and tell them about. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot I had a warranty. I bought a warranty.
Yeah.
So that'd be a
Separate
good
warranty.
reason to get it fixed. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead and tell them about how Wisconsin was.
The weather was beautiful. It was cloudy like most of the time I was there though, which sucked. But it was like in the 70s. And I was like,
which is nice.
and not humid. There
Yeah.
was one day I sat outside and read for a while. I was reading a book and it was kind of chilly. Like I was slightly chilled,
What was the temperature?
and then it was like 72. But it was like drizzling and windy.
Yeah, that'll make it cold.
And
yeah.
I was sitting under the you know how he has those like sail sun canopies? There's a yellow one and an orange one.
No,
Anyway.
but
I was sitting under those, so I wasn't getting wet. But my dad came outside and he's like, "Oh, it's chilly. We can't sit out here," because they like to sit outside, like between 4 and 5 p.m. And like talk about their plans and what they have going on and who's gonna do what tomorrow.
I mean, if he thinks that it's chilly, then
I know.
then it is chilly.
So we went inside when it was not chilly.
How was? I mean, so you went up there for the bridal shower. How was the bridal shower?
Bridal shower was great. It was lovely. Rhonda didn't want to take any credit, but she did basically everything, and it was gorgeous, and she got all these really cute decorations. Rhonda likes to do reselling, so she'll go to estate sales and rummage sales and antique malls, and she's started to learn about what's expensive, and so she'll pick things up ultra cheap and then resell them for more. And so like she had found this set of, I don't know what metal it was, but it was golden color, like this really beautiful set of vintage silverware that was gold. And she's like, "Oh, this is so good, it goes with the colors of the shower." And so she bought it and we used it for the shower, and then we washed it, and now she's gonna resell it.
Mal was sending me some photos of the food,
Oh yeah, the food was amazing.
and I got to tell you, nothing makes you feel like you are missing out when you are at home and you're cooking yourself spaghetti.
Canned soup.
And Mao is sending photos of like this huge spread, and I'm just like, "Oh, it looks good. Oh, it's
So,
really good.
there
I'm
was-
happy for you."
There was a charcuterie board with like crackers and cheese and nuts and like prosciutto. And then there was the
Yep.
crostinis that my dad and Rhonda make that Carly and I really love, with the
I know.
the
I've
rare
had 'em.
roast
Yeah, I've
beef
had 'em.
and the
I've
goat
had 'em.
cheese
They're very good. They're
and the
very good.
arugula.
Yep.
And then there was shrimp.
Yep, there were shrimp.
They were real big shrimp.
I saw.
And then there was
sushi.
caprese salad.
There was caprese salad.
And then there was sushi.
There was sushi.
And then there were like ham and cheese quiches, like
Uh-huh.
little mini.
Yeah, I saw those too.
And then there were macaroons.
Yeah.
And Carly really likes tres leches cake. And so we made cupcakes of those. And then
Yep.
there were little like petit fours.
Yeah.
Did I take photos? I did take photos. I don't have a great photo because it was all along the bar. I vlogged it, so when the vlog comes out, you'll see. And then the only thing I really did was I made up the games for the party, the shower games. And one of them was like I had all of these questions and Kyle answered them for me over email. And then what happened is everyone had to guess if Kyle got the answer right or wrong. So I had Kyle's answers, and so what Carly did is I was like, "All right, Carly, let me find an example of one." And I found these basically on Pinterest, but then I remade them myself in Photoshop with colors that matched the wedding and put their names in it. So it didn't say like bride or groom, it was like Carly and Kyle. So it was very personalized. So like the first one was, what's one thing Carly can't live without? And so everyone was like, oh, Kyle got that right, or Kyle got that wrong. And then they got a point if they were right. And
Did they get to know what Kyle's answer was before they...
well, what we did is Carly gave her answer. So it was like, what's one thing she can't live without? And I don't remember what her answer was, but Kyle said coffee. And so Kyle kept getting the answers wrong, but Carly was like, oh, that's a better answer than what I had.
That's funny. But also, I get that.
So, like, what's her...
The neighbors will be writing when you eat Tiny Eddie's unknown elegant chunks.
Neighbors are eating, unknown elegant chunks?
Unknown chunks, but elegant. Like a nice dinner, but at a cannibal's house. Billy is divine.
He's eating Billy.
Thousand Bits from Item Crafting Life says, okay, Eddie, what would you serve at the wedding? People. It says unknown, but we know. We know. We're gonna eat Billy. We're gonna eat Billy.
No ocean picnic is complete without Tiny Eddie's crimson paint nuggets.
Don't eat paint.
Yeah, but also step up from people. Thousand Bits from Leaf who says, all that food talk got me hungry again. What about you, Eddie? What's an ocean picnic? Is that
a boat or a raft?
You hope a boat's involved. People just throw you out of a helicopter.
Have your picnic.
And then a picnic basket, and they're like, good, you figure it out. Crimson paint nuggets. Yum. Also, of all of the paint nuggets that you can eat, crimson paint nuggets is probably the most dangerous. Crimson, what's the word? The materials that are in paint.
Pigment?
Pigment. Yeah, the pigment for crimson is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Also, 7 months from Jacob Weedle 71. Jacob, thank you. Sorry, what were you saying?
So, one of the questions was, what's Carly's favorite candy? So I was like, all right, next question was, what's Carly's favorite candy? And everyone's like, oh, Kyle got this right. And Carly goes, Kinder Bueno. Which is, like, new to the US.
That's a wild answer.
Right? And Kyle said Reese's. Carly goes, yeah.
Do you think that's probably fairly typical, though? Like, if you are in a relationship with someone, there's a good chance that they know you better than you know you.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with the game.
Where, someone's mind at any given time is thinking about a lot of different things, and they're like, oh, this. But someone that knows you and has a whole, history of, what you like and what you think about things probably is a better...
Laura Sunflower says, how did you determine if they got it right or wrong? So I had Carly give the answer first, so she couldn't, be like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on what she said, first thing, did Kyle say that too?
And then everyone had to guess if Kyle got it right or wrong.
Yeah. And
After a few...
He got so many wrong because he had better answers than she did. And she's like, yeah, he's right. But
so at what point did everyone catch on and just say Kyle got it wrong?
Well, they had to do the whole sheet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well. Okay. Yeah, Vagabond says, when are you two doing this for a vlog? We could we could totally do that.
I saw at a wedding where one of the things they did is they take off the bride and the groom take off their shoes, and then
Austin and Nikki did that at their wedding.
Yeah, and then they raise the shoe of who's more romantic, and then the bride kind of votes with the guy's shoe or the girl's shoe. And I thought that was cute. I had never seen that till Jared and Annie did that.
What? Let me ask you, what's your favorite? I'm gonna come up with an answer in my head for this. What's your favorite candy?
I'm going into a 7-Eleven and I'm getting candy.
You're in a 7-Eleven. You're getting something sweet. I have an answer. And
it has to be a candy bar, right? Not a donut, because I would get a donut.
I mean, you're not walking into a Dunkin' Donuts. You're You're walking into a 7-Eleven that does not have donuts. You're getting a candy. A candy. A candy is not a donut.
Kit Kat.
Okay, yes, that was my answer also. Okay, so like that. Hold on. I'm going to ask you to ask me that question, but I have to come up with an answer. Oh my god, this is really hard. Why did I come up? Why is this so hard? I can eat anything. I get to pick. What's my favorite candy?
It's a Blue Jay.
What is my favorite?
There were a lot of Blue Jays in Wisconsin. There's also a lot of goldfinches. I had to find out what Rhonda's feeding her birds because there were seriously 20 goldfinches on their feeder.
Sorry, I have to Google candy. just candy. So let me Google candy quick and just go to images. Google with like your current location. Why? No, you don't need it for this.
So it can tell you if you can Instacart your favorite candy to you.
I don't need to Instacart any candy. All right, I'm just looking at like some candy here. What would I go with? Oh my god, this is so hard.
Mr. Squidtopus says, what is she feeding? I want goldfinches.
Ooh, there's some good stuff here.
Rhonda is feeding her birds.
Oh, I want candy.
Colorful companions, wild bird food, sunflower hearts. She said she got it from Chewy.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. Yep, yeah, I like that one too. Okay. All right. Oh my god, that one too. Holy crap. Oh, I love candy.
I can name some that I think you would definitely pick.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time coming up with like just one specific one, which is a really big problem when you're trying to answer what's your favorite candy, and I'm like, I don't know. Okay. All right, I've got at least one good one, but I've got several good ones. All right. Okay.
So you like Heath because you like toffee.
Heath was one of them, yeah. Heath was up there.
Does Take 5 still exist? I'm trying to think of something like with pretzels in it.
I forgot Take 5 was a thing. They're fine.
You like peanut butter cups.
That wasn't on my list, but yeah. Yeah,
And
I
you know what you really like? That you like, we go to Cracker Barrel and you always get?
Oh, I forgot that exists also.
Yeah, those things.
Sky Bar.
Sky Bar.
Yeah, I do like Sky Bars. My answers were going to be Heath, Fifth Avenue. Love Fifth Avenue.
I forget that one exists.
Everyone does. And Reese's Pieces. I really like Reese's Pieces.
You like that over Reese's Cups?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, but I do like the Take 5. I haven't had Take 5 in a long time.
No cloud picnic is complete without Tiny Eddie's Centennial Heart Puffs.
We had an ocean picnic. Now we have a cloud picnic. That's a bit from Aldo. It says, can you find this Tiny Eddie product at the 7-Eleven? Centennial Harp Puffs. Made with real 100-year-old harps. What's that stuck in your teeth? Is it an old harp? It is. I'm a eating Tiny Eddie. Doctors are mad at me for eating harps. I was up in Cloudland. We also had 500 bits from Jacob, who says, good morning, grandparents. I'm super stoked today because I have a job interview with FedEx in literally an hour. I've been trying to get my foot in the door for a while. Also, I really enjoyed the videos with your grandma because she reminds me a lot of my grandma. Let's have a Thursday.
Good luck with your interview.
Yeah, I hope your interview goes well. I hope you're able to get in the door with FedEx. Seems like that has a lot of like upward opportunities. So, good luck for that. And yeah, I'm glad that I had a lot of responses that seemed very similar in that vein of like the videos of my grandma reminded folks of chatting with their grandma or their elders, and I think that's a fun thing.
I really want to do it with my dad, you know, either just by himself or with his mom.
I actually thought that you would try and maybe do something with your grandma while you're up there.
Well, I saw her at the shower.
Yeah.
She came to the shower, and that really wasn't a good chance to do it because she's 93 and she can't drive. So she had to get a ride there and a ride home. And then we went to see her Monday afternoon, but we weren't there very long, and I didn't have a tripod, and I didn't.
It is, yeah, I understand. There's some basic equipment that is helpful to have if you're gonna try and do something like that.
I did hear a cool story from my dad that I told you.
Oh, about going to get the soda.
Yeah, because I was talking about Jolly Good to him, and he said when he was little and they lived in Milwaukee, they would drive to a bottler, a soda bottler, because a lot of places made beer and then they also made soda. Mm-hmm. And it was called Milwaukee Soda Water Company, I think. And they would drive to the bottler, like all 7 kids in the station wagon.
It's a lot of kids.
I don't know if all the kids were old enough to go, but he's like, we would go and you would get a crate and you'd get to pick out whatever sodas and you'd pay for the crate.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's like, all of us got to pick out like 4 sodas. He's like, so I would pick out like a lemon lime and like a cherry, and like they were making unique sodas. Mm-hmm. And then you'd go and you'd drink your sodas, and like a month later you'd bring all the empties back for your deposit and you'd do it again.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of that is really interesting to me. And also, I just want to try out the Jolly Good soda, too.
We'll go. We'll go to Woodman's and get some. They also had every flavor of Jones. I don't know what it was about Woodman's.
Every flavor?
Every flavor bottled. There was like 6 flavors. That's all they have now.
Chaz went ahead and rolled beans, which is probably good because it's
beans.
10 and I haven't done it. Yeah, beans are fresh. I actually, they're updated. I finally updated. And the change from last month to this month wasn't immense. Like, there weren't a ton of changes, but they're finally updated. Sorry for the wait. And I'll be getting more vlogs out today. I don't think that I won't.
Singer and says, Mel, you're from the Midwest. It's pop. Western Wisconsin is pop. Eastern is soda.
I Spy Moose says, I have a memory from being a kid that makes me sound like I'm my grandparents' age. All my siblings played baseball and softball as a kid, and my stepfather was the baseball coach. I used to go up to the snack bar at the games, and I'd get 5 pretzel rods for a nickel. You know, one of the things I haven't had in a long time, and I'm reminded of it every single time we go to the Costco, is I haven't had a churro in a long time, and they have them there.
Yeah.
And I want to get. I've put it off because, like, they're not good for you. You know,
they're not.
It's like pure bad thing.
Sometimes they're really dried out, and they're more like a cinnamon twist from Taco Bell, and I don't like that. I like when they're more doughy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna get one here at some point. I don't have to get one every time I go, and I shouldn't, but I haven't had one in a long time, and I didn't eat super great this weekend. I didn't eat anything bad. I just didn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to go out and get any food out. I didn't want to go get groceries. I just wanted to eat what was here, and we were really kind of running out of food. So one of the things I made this weekend was spaghetti, and we didn't have any cheese. I later found out we did. That was exciting. And we didn't have any ground beef, so it was just noodles and sauce. And we didn't have any sauce. We only had a can of tomatoes, so I made sauce. I had to find the immersion blender and ground up all the tomatoes and made a sauce.
At least they were good tomatoes.
Yeah, and it was fine. It was fine, but like that's the level of like I do not want to go out. Like I'm gonna make a sauce because I don't want to go out. Maybe I should have went to the Costco and had myself a churro.
You should have.
I should have. Next time. We got 9 months from Zach Lumberjack. 24 months from Char Hutch 97. Congrats on the 2. And 200 bits from Darth Mario 64.
I'm really enjoying kitty snuggles this morning.
Yeah.
I had dog snuggles the whole time I was in Wisconsin.
Which is really nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah. And I mean the dogs are old.
Yeah, they
are
are.
very, very old, so you gotta snuggle them while you can. Monkey passed away a while back, but all of the other dogs are still around.
Yeah.
Coco, Luna, and
Coco's the youngest,
Sasha.
so Coco's doing the best. But
Luna and Sasha are quite old.
based on their breeds, and they don't know how old the dogs are because they've all been rescues.
Yeah.
So like based on the breeds, they're starting to get to the age limit that breed tends to live.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're
getting
still,
lots of love, and they're
sweet dogs.
yeah,
they're
are.
very, very sweet dogs. Yeah.
I was holding Sasha. She's the Pomeranian, the orange one, and she's just like 3 pounds. Like she looks like a cloud. You lift her up and she feels like a cloud, and she's just
Tiny little dog.
and she just loves to be held, so she just snuggles right down.
All right, let's talk about what's happening today. There is is this art? Is this morning art? There's an art in the queue. I don't know if it's morning art or if I should be saving it till tomorrow. Trying to think about things that are happening today. Things that are happening today.
Or mailing my painting, my pastoral planes.
Oh, Xenoblade.
painting.
Yeah. Renee says morning art. All right, well, let's take a look at morning art then. I want to see this. It's Jigglypuff from above. That's accurate. That's accurate. God, it. Also, we learned.
Master Wabbit says, "Is it going to a meal?" It's not going to a meal.
It's not going to a meal. We learned also that when you do your renewals for North Carolina, you've always had to do that road sign test every time you renew, and they just changed that.
In like 2016.
They just changed it 6 years ago, which is good. Sorry, Mal didn't tell me that part. Mal's the one that told me that information, so I was like, oh, I can share something. And then she's like, oh, well, 6 years ago. Thanks. They just changed it, everybody. So you can start doing that to me. You can give me just enough information to be dangerous, and then you can correct me live.
It was a Thursday.
It was a Thursday. 29 months from Melmer723. Melmer, thank you. Things are happening today. There is something on Stephen Plays. I'm not sure what it is. It's either Skyrim or Pokemon. Skyrim or Pokemon every week until those are done. And then we'll play a different game. I'm not sure what. We'll figure that out soon.
What are you doing?
More vlogs because there weren't any yesterday and I am still in the process of catching up. That's it. There's nothing else going on other than to let y'all know that tomorrow we are back to Pokemon. It's been a while. Pokemon has had a rough summer.
Yeah.
Because we
moved.
We did one and then we moved and we couldn't do it for a while. And then we did another one and then a bunch of stuff happened where we couldn't do it, and now we're finally back to Pokemon. So it should be a pretty important Pokemon stream because we will be finishing up the gym badges. We will fight Giovanni tomorrow, and then I guess each other. Mm-hmm. And I would say in the span of a stream, I bet we'll get to the Elite Four, maybe. Maybe? I don't know. There is a chance that tomorrow's stream could be Giovanni, a fight between us, and also catching Moltres. Like,
Don't
all
worry,
in one
I've
stream.
I've forgotten all of my Pokemon moves and who they're good against and who is on your team and who is on my team.
Awesome. I have a fighting chance then. So yeah, we've got, so that's going to be a stream. We'll have a stream where we like fight the Elite Four and then also, you know, fight each other or whatever. And then we want to, we definitely want to try and just finish up the Pokedex a little bit if we can. Just, you know, if we're missing a few here and there, to try and grab them. So I would say, this is of course an estimate, I would say 3 streams, and probably not more than that. Like maybe 4, but probably 3. So like, we're definitely getting down to the end here. And that's exciting, you know, because this has been a project that we started in January. So yeah. And then we'll be on to something different.
Kepler has stretched himself over and across my thigh. So he's like draped over my leg.
He is a cute boy. Oh, you got a big fur in your eyeball, honey. Let me get that for you. There you go. All better. Anyway, okay. That's it.
That's it.
I don't have anything else to announce. Yeah, that's it. I hope y'all have a good Thursday. And, you know, we'll see you tomorrow night for the continuation of Pokemon. And, yeah, I'm trying to get some vlogs out. And I'm gonna get some food. I'm hungry.
We didn't have breakfast, we just had coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. I have found that in the last 2 days, maybe 2 to 3 days, I've had a weird pit in my stomach, like I'm not eating enough food. I did lose about 5 pounds over the weekend.
I can never leave.
Well, it's not even like I ate, you know. I don't know. I think when you're around, I eat more, and when you were gone, I just ate less. You know what I mean?
I can never leave.
But like I was never like hungry. I just didn't eat as much. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't forget. That's the thing. I did eat. I did eat. But I ate less because I was like, I don't know. I ate when I was hungry, and I just got hungry less. I think it's something about when you're around, we have more like regimented meals because it's both of us like collectively deciding when to eat. And when it's just me, I might get up in the morning and have something, and then I'm working on stuff, and then it's not until like that night where I'm like, oh yeah,
I can never leave.
okay, you're fine. All right, so anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the continuation of Pocket Monsters Let's Traverse Yellow Rat and Yappy Dog.